Hey, what's up, NHL fans? Mark is back once again for another episode of Today. And for this amazing day of December the 3rd.
Tuesday, December 3rd. It's been a rough run for a few teams this year. And when you look at the talent across the National Hockey League, we see teams struggling. We see teams playing very, very good. There's some teams that have been on some good streaks, and some teams have been on some losing streaks. We look across the league, we see teams that are really trending, like the Detroit Red Wings. They've really turned it around. Colorado Avalanche, they haven't got off their pedestal, almost like the Portland Trailblazers in the NBA. There are two teams that have shocked the entire sports world in the way they've been playing. Patrick Roy is rubbing some of that, that magic he had for many years when he was a player in Colorado and Montreal throughout his illustrious, great career. He's showing some of these young players for the Colorado Avalanche that, when you're playing goaltending, it's all about positioning. Making saves is never easy. Your positioning comes in different forms, in different ways. And you're seeing it with Simeon Varlamov. Varlamov is managed to make the tiny saves he needs to make. Same thing with Jaguar. And that's what it is. It's all about timing. And when you're playing this game, 90% of the time, it's mental. And the defense for Colorado hasn't been the best defense in the league, but this young defense has really worked together. A little bit of experience, a little bit of youth, worked together. And the defensive core has worked awesome this season. Adam Foote, being part of the coaching staff, assistant coach, head of the defense, has really contributed a lot to the coaching staff and really contributed a lot to the defense of the Colorado Avalanche this season. You watch a lot of the shows, Hockey Central, TSN, Hockey Center, whatever, Sports Center, Trade Center, and they talk about, Colorado, some of the players like, Matt Duchene, your Paul Stastny's, your Nathan McKinnon, the number one pick in this past year's draft. But they never really talk about the defense. Like Eric Johnson and a few other guys that have on that team. They might not be household names, but they have really played good defense this year. And that's what it is. If you play great defense, you get timely goaltending, and you get at least 3 lines scoring goals. You have a Stanley Cup type caliber team. I think when it comes to playoffs, they're going to struggle in the first round. I don't think they'll get out of the first round, but they'll have an amazing season. I think they'll finish maybe third. It's going to be tough because it's not like how it used to be. But, the playoffs are going to be tough to get into. But, if Colorado can continue to play with the plan, maybe add a couple players at the trade deadline or before that, you never know. Because they did trade off Steve Downey, and they acquired Maxime Talbot. That was a good move. I've been hearing some rumors that, Colorado might make a few moves before the trade deadline. So we'll see what happens. They have some players out there like John Michael Lyles. I've been hearing Carolina's name come up in trade talks with Carolina. John Michael Lyles would be perfect for that defense because, Sakic, and Patrick Roy. He played with those guys back in the day when they were winning cups, when they were the top team in the league with like Detroit. It would be a positive move if they could acquire like a John Michael Lyles. So, we'll see what happens. I saw some of the highlights of Vancouver Canucks and the Carolina Hurricanes. Vancouver really showed in that game against Carolina. When they want to score goals, they score goals. You saw with Kessler, you saw with David Booth. I saw a game with David Booth. His legs were moving. He was skating. That's one thing Tortorella needs to do. He needs to play everybody. Play all 4 lines. You can't just play 2 lines or 1 line a whole game. Got to play the entire team. It's all about chemistry. That's how you develop great chemistry. That's why Vancouver is so good the last 3 years, because they win those President's Trophies because they were all playing as a team. Everybody was getting a chance to play. Everybody was getting a chance to contribute. Penalty kill, power play, it didn't matter. Everybody felt they were part of the team. And that's what makes a great winner, is when you're part of a team. In New York, it was a little bit different because those guys they couldn't score goals. They had some talent, but they just couldn't score the goals. But at least in Vancouver, they have some guys that can put the puck in the net. They need to go acquire someone, maybe in a deal, a trade, or something, that can score some goals for this team. I mean, they really need to score some. Like Alex Hemsky in Edmonton would be perfect for Vancouver. He might be making quite a bit of money, but let me tell you, this guy, he can score goals. You throw him on with the Zadine twins, you throw him on with Kessler, whoever, but he will automatically make Vancouver a team to watch out for in the 2014 13-14 playoffs. I think if they could add someone like Alex Hemsky or Martin Havlat. I know Havlat's making quite a bit of money. They'd have to move quite a bit of salary out to make that deal happen. But I mean, either one of these guys can score goals. The big thing for Martin Havlat over the last few years has been his health. It's been his passion for the game. I think he lost the passion when he left Ottawa, because he was one of the game's best goal scorers, averaging 30 goals per season. He had a good centerman, and even in San Jose, he has a great centerman. He has Patrick Marleau, he has Joe Thornton, he has Joe Pavelski, he has all these great players to play in San Jose with, but he's just not putting the puck in the net. And I think, I've heard a rumor that he might go back to Ottawa in a deal for a few young players, I guess, that would probably go back, but we'll see what happens. I think when you look at the talent in San Jose, you look at the talent in Vancouver, to win that division, you're going to have to be good. I mean, you got to score lots of goals, you got to get timely saves, you have to get everything. I mean, Luongo's played good this year, don't get me wrong. He's had some bad games. No one's going to have a perfect season. Just look at Henrik Lundqvist. He got benched. And I couldn't believe he got benched. But hey, that's what happens. New coach, new system. If you keep losing, eventually you're going to get benched, sent a message to. But hey, his backup lost last night. Sucks. But hey, Rangers are an inconsistent team. It's like your Vancouver Canucks. It's like your, Detroit Red Wings. They win a game, they lose a game. They win a game, they lose a game. They win 2-3 games, then they lose 2-3 games. These are the type of teams you got to keep an eye on. And as the season progresses, we'll see what happens. I've been hearing that, Detroit, they were kicking tires, looking to maybe acquire somebody. We'll see what happens. Zetterberg, just heard right now, he's out for 2 weeks. He got hurt. Looks like his back. It's a heretic disc. We'll see. You never know. You have Tampa Bay with Steven Stamkos, and they're still winning hockey games. I could see them making a few moves in the near future, but we'll see. Stevie Y, he's so focused on Team Canada right now, but he's still focused on his NHL team, and he knows probably come trade deadline after the Olympics, he'll probably make a few moves. And I think he's going to acquire some defense. I think he might acquire another 2 forwards. We'll see what happens with Tampa Bay. After getting rid of Lecavier's contract, it frees up some money, so now they can maybe acquire a few players at the trade deadline that would help them in the playoffs. So I think Tampa Bay is a playoff team. They're one of the best teams in the Metropolitan Division. Teams like Philadelphia, Florida, Pittsburgh, New York. I mean, this team's better. This Tampa Bay team's better than the Rangers, Philadelphia, Florida, of course, Carolina. I mean, it's just Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. I mean, they're the class of this division. And it's looking to me, I think Tampa Bay is going to make the playoffs. They've played good enough this season. They've had timely goaltending from Ben Bishop. He's been the man. He's been a great acquisition from Ottawa. Ottawa shouldn't have traded him. You're starting to see why they're losing games now. They don't have that great backup. I mean, Robin Lehner is a great young goalie coming up, but I don't think he's never going to be a starter. I think he's going to have holes in his game, But that's what happens. Same thing with Corey Schneider. That's why Vancouver gave up on Corey Schneider. It was probably because Longo's contract was too big. I think Florida could take that contract now. Maybe for Tim Thomas in a trade. Can you imagine? Tim Thomas for Roberto Longo? I could see that trade happening, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But, they just signed Eddie Lack to a new 2-year deal, and he played good last game against Carolina. He's a good young goalie. It's going to take a few years to acclimate himself into the NHL. But, with Vancouver, I mean, guys like Cassidy need to step it up. One thing I liked about that game was seeing Tom Sestito sit in front of the net, tip a puck in. The key to winning games for Vancouver long term here, if they're going to make the playoffs. Same thing for Toronto Maple Leafs. They need to skate. They need to get people in front of the net, tip pucks in, throw the puck on net, and you score goals. That's what Gretzky and Lemieux made it so easy out there. Even Crosby and all the future stars like Lindros, Lidstrom, Larry Murphy, Ray Bourque. These guys were just great at throwing the puck on net, taking a slap shot, getting tip pucks in. Always try to screen the goalie so you can't see nothing. Create hell in front of the net. And work from behind the net and try to pass the puck in front. That's what I liked about the Sedin twins when they used to do their things behind the net. They used to do like they work behind the net. They do the passes and stuff. When they used to have Trent Platt on the team, even with Burrows. I mean that's the key. You know, you have to really work on your passes, and timing is everything. Keep shooting the puck on net. Throw the puck on net. You know, if you don't have a pass, just throw the puck on net. You might get a rebound. And that's the key. These guys in the NHL nowadays are always trying to make the perfect pass. They're always trying to do something to like this. They just want to be on Sports Center, or they want to be on YouTube. They want to do a hot dog play. They don't want to make a fundamental, timely play. Just throw the puck on net. Take a slap shot from an odd angle. You will score goals. You know, if you're making a pass, make an okay pass. Just throw the puck on net. If you don't have the pass, throw the puck on net. I mean, good things do happen. You know, I've seen on power plays when the players are just trying to make the perfect pass. I mean, I've watched maybe 2, 4, 5,000 games over my lifetime. I've taped over 300-400 games. And I've watched them over and over again. And I've seen how these teams and these players make so many passes, do a ton of dipsy and doodle moves, and they're not trying to win the game. They're not trying to score goals. They're always trying to get it over time and get that point. They're not trying to create plays and, you know, throw the puck on net, shoot from different angles, and try to score goals. And I think that's what teams across the National Hockey League need to do. And that's what's important. You're seeing with Montreal Canadiens, they are making those timely passes, but they're shooting the puck on net. That's why Pacioretty's on fire right now. PK Subban's playing great defense right now, helping out Carey Price. You know, he's really involved, you know. And you look at Winnipeg, I mean, I saw Ole Jokinen get 2 goals last game yesterday against Rangers. I mean, he looked like the old Ole Jokinen when he played for the Calgary Flames. I mean, a guy that has all the talent in the world, but most games he just doesn't show up. And you need these star players, you know, even if they're not superstars or all-stars anymore, you need these guys to step up. You know, these guys are getting paid pretty good money. And they need to step it up. You know, if Winnipeg's going to make the playoffs, they need their guys to step up. You know, like Bufflin, Kane, and even Ole Jokinen. You know, Blake Wheeler, I mean, where has he been this season? You know, he's been in and out of the lineup. He hasn't really got the wheels going. I mean, ever since he signed his big contract. Same thing for Zach Bogosian. There's another guy, made a big contract, and is not performing. You can say the same thing for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in Edmonton. Eberle has performed. Taylor Hall, he's been in and out. He's inconsistent. He's doing the best he can. He's a small guy, but, you know, he's a tough customer. He's one of the more talented players in the National Hockey League. But it does come from goaltending. And I think Brizgalov has brought that to Edmonton in a short run here. He's out of lineup for the next couple of games with an injury. But, you know, that's what it is. It's all about confidence, and it's all about belief. If you're going to win the Stanley Cup in the National Hockey League, you have to believe in one another. You have to make the timely passes. You have to cheer on your teammates on the bench. You know, stand up for your teammates. You know, sometimes you might see some fights in games, but teammates are sticking up for one another. You see, you know, Toronto Maple Leafs against John Scott. And then John Scott's teammates stepping up for John Scott. And that's what you call a team. And that's what it takes to win in the National Hockey League. You have to be a team player. And as long as you're a team player, you'll win. You know, I've been hearing rumblings that Jack Capuano of the New York Islanders' job could be on the line if the Islanders keep losing. But we'll see what happens. I think Capuano's job is still safe. You know, it's the same thing for a lot of GMs in the league. I heard rumors of the New York Rangers. If they would have kept losing where they were losing, GM Glenn Sather could have got sacked. But it was just a rumor, so you never know, right? So, I mean, Rangers have turned it around, so it looks like Glenn Saylor will be fine. Coming from James Dolan, I think he's more mad about the Knicks start than anything. He's really proud the Rangers have turned it around. Seeing him in a recent interview I was reading, and they've turned it around, and that's what's important. The New York teams are just doing bad the last few years, and the Rangers, I'm glad to see them turn around. The Islanders need to get it going. The goaltending needs to get better. I could see them making a move to get a goalie, maybe Jonas Hiller or Ryan Miller, or some type of deal like that in the near future, maybe before Christmas. But I thought there'd be deals around Thanksgiving, and these deals didn't happen. The Vanek deal with Molson, that was a good deal. It hasn't really worked out for the New York Islanders. The chemistry between him and Tavares hasn't really shown. But I still think the Islanders will sign him to a monster contract. Probably at the trade deadline, they'll sign him to like a 9-year deal, or actually the maximum was at 8 years. Okay, yeah, probably 8 years, 70 or $53 million. But I think with Vanek, it's all about confidence. And we'll see what happens. Confidence is very important in the National Hockey League. With players, especially if you're a star player like Vanek, you have to shoot the puck more. I mean, here's a guy that has all the talent in the world. He just needs to keep shooting the puck. That's why Brett Hull scored 86 goals in the NHL. He kept shooting the puck. They passed him puck, he shoot it. Shoot the puck on net. Throw it on net. Whatever. Try to stop making all the fancy passes. Just make a pass, a simple pass. No fancy dancy passes. Just go out there, make a timely pass, shoot the puck on net, and good things will happen. Well, thanks for watching, folks. This is Mark Spencer for NHL Today for December 3rd, 2013. Christmas is around the corner. Trades might start happening. Winter, actually, the GM meetings are supposed to be happening this week. I think it's on the weekend, Friday, and I think it's Thursday and Friday. I think the GM meetings are supposed to happen in the National Hockey League, Board of Governor meetings. They're going over some rules and stuff, and the new TV deal that Rogers Sportsnet and CBC, TVA, and Quebec signed. It was a 12-year deal. It's a huge deal. I mean, it's sad to see TSN, a long-time broadcaster of hockey for many, many years, are out of it. And I think they should be in it, but hey, you never know. I still believe in miracles, so we'll see what happens. Maybe in the future, TSN might get back in and be able to cover some hockey games once again. I don't really like exclusive deals, and most exclusive deals don't work out anyways. I think in the future, the federal government might get involved and they'll say, hey, you got to share the broadcast with TSN. It's only fair. You can't have it for 12 years, and you got to leave a network like that blacked out. I mean, that's one of their main bread and butters, and I feel that might happen in the future. You never know. So, like I say, you never know. Just keep watching your television networks, and I think Sportsnet's going to do an amazing job. They're going to do the same way what they did with baseball. They're going to throw on a lot more networks and show a lot more games. But I think TSN is very important to the hockey fabric in this country, Canada, and I think they will show hockey games once again on a national basis, probably in a few years. We'll see what happens. Like I say, changes are coming. I think with the federal government, they're going to get more involved. The CRTC, they've already got involved with the Verizon situation. Verizon might come back one day. You never know. So you might see them get involved with this TV deal with the National Hockey League. They might put some pressure on the National Hockey League to relook at this TV deal and make it more fair so everybody will get a piece of the pie. Because I think every one of the networks should be able to show hockey nationally. Not just one network, not just two networks. I think every network should be able to show National Hockey League from coast to coast, nationally, for at least 15 years. Redo the deal, make it 15 years for all 4 networks in this country to show hockey on all networks, on all TVs. It's only fair. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what Rogers Sportsnet does long term, and CBC. It's up to those two. They're the main, and TVA in Quebec. So it's going to be up to them. We'll see what happens. It might not work out. My idea might work, where they all have to share. I think that's going to be the business of the future. A lot of these exclusive deals you see right now on like a bunch of stuff, they might come to an end. I mean, there's some major changes happening around the world. The Iraqi dinar, the RV is happening as I speak. There's so many changes happening around the world, man, that even all these paper contracts that these people sign, like TV deals, contracts signed with if you're a professional athlete or whatever, it's paper. So just remember, you know, everybody in the world is going to gold. So if you don't have gold, you could be in trouble. So like I say, it's just paper. So it's just a paper deal. So this deal could be scrapped and redone. You know, so like I say, a lot of changes are coming. So you never know. Like I said, I still think TSN and Bell, they might get back in on these negotiations again, maybe in the future if they're up again. I got some news on Detroit. It looks like they're officially going to be bankrupt, going through bankruptcy in March. It's sad to see. I was watching some on CNBC this morning. But, the Motor City needs to come back, folks. Manufacturing, the car business, we really need to see them come back. It's really sad to see the Motor City going through this. This is real, folks. This is real. It's like Stockton, California, and a lot of events that have happened over the last few years. Now, I've been watching George Furtado for many years, and I'm telling you, it's real. Alex Jones tells you sometimes, he gives you a little bit of clues, and he shows you what the real world's all about, but you guys don't really pay attention. You say, oh, he's a fearmonger, he's this, he's that. Man, Alex Jones has given you so many clues over the years. Boy, and I'm surprised he's doing what he's doing still. I'd love to see a guy like Alex Jones on CNN. He'd do a better job than Pierce Morgan, who's from Britain, and he doesn't care about Americans, man. He doesn't care about your rights. He doesn't care about you guys owning a gun. It's your constitution, right? He doesn't care about that. He thinks none of you guys should have a gun, and none of you guys deserve to have any real rights. I mean, I remember Pierce Morgan. This guy was a good TV guy. He was a good judge. He's a good judge of talent on TV. He's a TV guy. He's not a news guy. He's not an interview guy like Larry King was. Larry King gave you the tough question, and you answered that tough question. Larry King was the best thing ever happened to CNN. When he left that network, it went down. You know what I mean? So when you watch people like Alex Jones and Kerry Cassidy, you watch all these people around the world, and they talk about what they talk about, just listen for a few minutes. Even Russell Brand, he's starting to give you some reality snippets, what the mass media, what the media are doing to you every single day. Most days, they don't care, man. They're just throwing whatever they can throw on television, and you watch it. It's just like a pill. You take that pill every single day, and you watch what's on the television, and they can be lying to you every day. And Russell Brand was just trying to say in that interview he did with the BBC that people are starving, man. People are starving. You see it in England. People, they're raising up taxes. They're raising up everything. Bus fare. They're raising up so much. I hear from people in England, and they say it's just getting bad. I mean, Cameron was supposed to make some changes and improve the situation for the British people. I felt he would do it when he came in, as a Tory, conservative, like Harper here in Canada. I mean, Harper has done some changes. He has improved the country a little bit, but he could do a lot more. He's cut programs that could really help the future of Canada. But, it's going to take time. It takes time. He has a million scandals on his hands, and, you never know. But that's politics. But I just think, with Cameron, he could do a lot better, man. The British people need his help. I'm telling you, they need his help. He needs to, he needs to really get tough on the super rich in that country. Hollande is doing a little bit of that, but he's doing it a little too aggressively. But he really needs to get tough on the super rich in England, because it's sad. It shouldn't happen that way. You should really get tough on them. You look at the hacking scandal from News International and all these other things that have happened in Great Britain over the last few years. There's still more investigations into that situation. There's no need for that. It's called transparency. It's called working together as a team, as a unit, and we're trying to break the code. Let's break the silence, man. Let's try to be who we're supposed to be. Be the best you can be. And I think David Cameron could be the best he can be if he listens to the people of Britain instead of listening to his people in his ear, lobbyists, his old money guys, and say, hey, come on, man, come on, just do it. Just say this, say that. Let's listen to the people. That's it. That's all the people are asking for in Britain. Same thing with Harper. Just now he started listening to the people. Sometimes he listens to the people when he needs votes and needs money. That's it. You know, sometimes. Or he's just talking hockey or his new book and stuff. I was just watching a recent interview. He's talking about, I wrote a book about hockey and what I think it's wrong with the NHL and the players making so much money, and I think we'll never get a team in Canada that will win us down. Come on, Harper, man. You're the Prime Minister of the country, man. I mean, you can make it better for Canadians, man. Improve the programs, you know? I mean, stop cutting everything. You're cutting everything in the country. Everything. Cutting everything. Improve the healthcare situation, hospitals and stuff, you know? Just improve the situation in schools and all that, you know? The reserves, the native reserves and all that. Improve those situations. But he doesn't have time. He just never has time, man. He doesn't want to fix the problem. He's just too busy. And I see that's why Alex Jones and all those others are talking about this stuff. They're the only ones on alternative media that can talk about it. So you gotta remember, folks, I mean, we the people, we can make a difference. Just like in the NHL, they're making a difference every single day. You know? They go to hospitals, they visit the kids, they make them happy for a couple minutes. You know, with all these telephones and stuff, it's very important. You know, they give back to their community. You know, and that's what it's all about. I remember when I was in the hospital, I was a little kid. I remember Trevor Linden, Pavel Bure, Gino Ochek all came to the hospital where I was staying at, and it made me feel good for a couple minutes. And they said, hey, how are you doing? And I said, I'm doing good. So let's remember, folks, you hockey fans out there, it's the season of giving. And I think even with your politicians around the world and celebrities, whatever, I think they need to give a little bit more of their time to people and help out the situation in this world. Let's make this a better planet for everybody, and let's make this a better world where we all can get a present at the end of the day. I also want to say so long, everybody, and just remember, folks, hey, hockey's getting interesting. I hope to do some more NHL trade rumors soon. But this Nhl Today was a special one, and I'm glad to be able to do it. And keep watching on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever media you can pick it up. I try to do my best on these videos, you know, for YouTube, Google, whatever. I love doing it. It's been a hobby of mine since 2007. It's been fun to talk to you guys in the camera. I mean, I might not be a superstar or a movie star or whatever. I'm just your average guy, just trying to contribute something to the internet. Some real news, some real information, you know, that they never talked about in hockey, you know, just little subtle things that you need to know on what's going on in life. So take care, folks. For NHL Today, this is Mark Spencer signing out. We'll see you in the future. Goodbye.